Hello everybody, welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. Today's read is going to be about some great changes that are coming place, positive changes, people stepping into some amazing power and courage and making things happen in a very big way. So that's the basis of today's read. And right before I want to begin, I just have a couple of announcements pertaining to England and everything that's going on, crystal orders and all of that. So to make it brief, all of the Stonehenge readings, those are going to be edited and all put together in a really gorgeous way this week in the next 48 hours or so. Because of the high winds, 30 miles an hour and stuff, Ian has some cleanup, and I definitely depend on him to do that and to do really professional editing, because I know nothing about removing sound or all of that. So he's doing that. And then there's a bit of cut and pasting too, because there's lower ground and all of that. So in order for it to be exactly how I want, it takes time. I don't like to rush anything. I don't cut corners. I want you guys to have good quality and everything. And also I'll be emailing all of my participants to get your mailing addresses, because of course you get your decks that I used, as well as your clear crystal quartz pendant that was blessed and supercharged at Stonehenge. That was so fun. I'm going to do in tomorrow's read, I'm going to add all those little videos so you can see all the fun nuances. A little girl came up and thought I was using diamonds. It was the coolest and cutest thing ever. So all of that will be arriving, and also all your Etsy orders. We will be packaging those and getting those out to you this week. Very excited. Wow, I can't even explain the energy of that place. It is supersonic. It's calming and invigorating all at once. It's like all your chakras are cleared. It's so amazing. So yeah, all those things will be out. And there's still just a few in the shop as well if you want to go to my Etsy shop. And you don't know what I was up to. I was at Stonehenge last week and visiting all my relatives and going on fun trips to the tower. And I supercharged a bunch of crystals and brought them with me and filmed it. And all the snapshots are up on Instagram. So go check it out. There was some remarkable things. I think the coolest thing that stayed with me was the ravens, because I was dressed like the Raven General in the dark colors, and the red, they associated me with him, so they were coming to me. It was really, really amazing, and it's crazy, like the stuff they feed them. I'll do some postings on Instagram what all that is, their diet, and how they clip their wings, and one actually still managed to get away and was seen outside London at a pub. It's really some fun stuff. And the thing that I was most taken with being back in that country, I lived there, was the camaraderie and the decency and the calmness of people. Like one woman dropped all her change all over the floor, and instead of people being impatient and getting mad, everybody that was like within a 5-foot radius approached her and helped her pick up all her change. And then they just started talking about their lives. It was one of the most beautiful aspects of the trip. I really, really love that. So I also have, because I felt like England is a very iron or metal, earth, very grounding. If it was any kind of sign, it would be a pentacle sign. All the green, all the earth, all the farming, all the beauty there was very earthy to me. So I used some earth stones as well in your choices. So number one we have is Fernia, which is also clarity. And I used some beautiful copper, relax, some beautiful copper colored aura quartz, which I love. This attracts money and abundance as well. And over here we have just lovely different mixed metals. And I love the Chumara, the web of all life. This is something that we learn daily, that we all are connected to everything and everyone. So we should treat it accordingly, right? Everything has a ripple and butterfly effect. So when we're kind, we hold the door, we smile, we think well of ourselves. There goes that butterfly off doing all the positive that it can, as opposed to the opposite, right? And I love Tatsuya too. Have courage. When we have courage to step into what we know is our best reality, our best optimistic self, we tend to see things through these beautiful rose-colored lenses that say, this is your opportunity. This is your life mate. This is your win. This is your get. This is your balance. This is everything that you need. And understanding that, like the cat is going to want to come in here. I've got to tell you, one of the craziest things coming home was the cats just won't leave me alone. They're trying to all sleep on top of me. They're just so happy we're here. And Nina and I had this conversation. Do cats know that we're coming back? And sometimes I wonder, right? So I want to just read this thing too that I read this morning while you're making your choice. I'm going to take a deep breath and calm down, because I am literally fending off 3 cats from sitting on everything. So the first thing I want you all to do is take a deep breath and really focus on the card and the wording and the imagery and what really speaks to you. And I'm going to be using the beautiful astrological cards that are going to help us figure out where some of this change is coming from, because it's really all aspects right now. And it's really it's important to remember that change can be beautiful and scary at the same time. Definitely. This happens with travel with me. We never know what's going to come up. And when we've got to formulate a new plan or accommodate something, right? You can be hurting and wondering what tomorrow will bring, but you can also be healing and happy, all of it. Sometimes it's best not to question why you're feeling this way, but instead experience all the emotions that change bring. Change is beautiful, but it can be a scary process because we don't know what's around the corner. And the other day I posted on Instagram, and I really loved this, and I want to find it because I think it was Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he's one of my favorites. And he was saying how change never let him down because the unknown has never let him down. And I'm one of those people where I embrace that and I like that. I don't like the same old, same old. I don't like boring patterns. I like change, but it can be scary because we know what to expect when we're doing certain things. So when we try new things, we don't necessarily know how that's going to turn out, but that's where all the beauty and the magic and the surprise happens, right? We do the same things. We're hardly going to experience growth. So let's see. For number one, what one of your first aspects is going to be in terms of change. So reconsidering, now is not the time to. So if you're thinking of branching out in something, for a lot of you guys, a very clear message is some people are coming to you in terms of wanting some sort of loan, and now may not be the time. We don't want to let other people down when it comes to support, but monetarily, it is our choice, time, resource, whatever it is. So it's just saying that now is the time to more reevaluate what kind of revenue stream would this create for you? What kind of drain on your resource would it be? And if you're having anxiety about it, that is your gut telling you that it will not have the turnout that maybe you expect. So, now it's time to implement these things, your willpower. Our willpower, I love that has this beautiful Aries energy, which is tenacious. You do it your own way. That way you claim the win. You claim, if something is not going your way, it's all you. There's no one to blame or kind of drag into the situation. It's all you. So if something happens when we know we are the beginning and the ending, we tend to do a better job. We tend to slow down because there's nobody else that we can pass the ball or shift the blame on, right? If it is huge reward, it is all you. So I feel like really kind of, I'm going to flip this over so you can see it as well. Be energized to meet all these challenges by saying, I'm the one that gets, I'm the one that's going to gain the understanding through this study. I'm the one that's going to gain the benefit by investing my time and money and resources in this. I'm the one that's going to get the payout. And the great thing is what you get is going to result from the honesty and strength of the energy you put in. Think of all like the quick buck scam artists out there. The karma comes around. What comes around, what you're doing is going to come back to you. I believe there was like one YouTuber and he was really strange and he did all these really nefarious bad things. And then he was like, oh, and I'm going to say, I'm sorry, I'm going to send out all these gift cards or something. And he had already also cashed all those in. So all these things he was trying to do to cover up previous garbage moves were coming back and really, really exemplifying and showing up the misdeeds even more. So this is happening in a really good way for you, resulting from your honesty and strength. You're coming in that you're going to gain more than you ever thought you would. Say you're building a porch or whatever for a friend. They're going to have somebody that comes over and sits on that porch and says, this craftsmanship is out of this world. Who did this? Word of mouth is going to spread through your awesome and caring deeds and your professionalism. Things are going to circulate for you in a much bigger way than you thought. So really put thought and effort into what you're doing and the long-term game of this. Now, I love this too. With Bridget, you're going to have a great creative spark. That's a lot of creative people's greatest fear, that it's going to be stagnant or their ideas will run out or their resources will run out. And as any creative knows, you have to be in the right environment, the right headspace, heart space, and all of that. If you have a lot of negative energy around you, a lot of naysayers, people are distracted, people that don't understand your dream, they are not beneficial to you at this time. So you're just going to disregard what they say and do and be in your own strength. And that's one of your major changes coming, that you're listening to this inner spark that says, do this, start this channel, journal, write this lyric, do open this business, do say, think, feel in your own benefit, because when it starts and ends with you, you do an exceptional job, and your work is going to really be magnified in the next couple months. And the biggest change is going to be financial in what the rewards you see as well. My cat is really driving me crazy. So that is you, group 1. Your creative spark is going to be off the charts. I love that. And I'm going to try to do like 2 to maybe even 3 videos today for you, or the next couple of days, because I just didn't have the Wi-Fi where I was. It was impossible to work with that. And so many comings and goings. I was really lacking for privacy even in the house. So I really want to be able to do some great stuff for you guys. But remember, all these benefits that are washing up on your shore, get your net and pick them up, because it is your time. Never doubt that. This cat is she's just running up and down across the board, and it's really starting to get on my last nerve. That's you, and you are going to soar. I just feel you feeling your power and saying no to people that deserve to be saying no to, and saying yes to yourself, who is the most deserving at this time for sure. So now we're on to tomorrow, the web of all life. This is something that you're experiencing on a daily basis. You're realizing, hey, when I go to say something to somebody, this person doesn't even let me complete my sentence. They're completely self-involved. Or, hey, when I go to help this person, there's always a warm smile on their face and real regard for my ideas and my creativity and my love. So this is someone I want to keep close. That is the web of life, when we realize what we should keep close and embrace and what we should release. And that makes sense that you're going to have that. What makes you feel secure right now? This is where the changes are the biggest. Support is coming in. Your home base or family. All of a sudden, this network of people that really believe in you and help bolster your creativity and make you feel like you now have the time and space, and you're allowed to work within any parameters you want. There aren't these crazy specifications of other people right now. Letting go of things that you did in the past that might have steamrolled over your productivity, right? Watching too much TV, doing things like that. Not allowing for your best discrepancy when it came to time. And also your home and family base and things that do make you feel secure is where you're going to do your best work right now, because you're going to be able to feel that energy and know that you're always going to have absolutely limitless resources when it comes to ideas, because that's where you flourish, right? A lot of people, when they go to work in a new office too, they're trying to find their bearings and where they fit in, and they have to allow for all these nuances, and while they're figuring that out, it's hard for all that to flourish. So home is going to be a place where you'll really be able to do some remarkable work. And right now too, your adaptability, that's another change, and that's the most important thing sometimes for us to feel safe and flourish, is have that adaptability to be able to move into one environment to another and still flourish and feel good and feel balanced and not feel adrift. I always equate it to going to a new school. You go in there and you see all these different demographics, and you see all these different social groups. And when you realize that at any given time, we're all different people, right? We might want to be really athletic one day, really artistic the next. We're allowed to do, be, think, and feel whoever we are in that moment. And you're going to adapt to that and find the right kindred spirits that help you move along that and feel successful and good and sure of yourself. I just feel like your confidence is going to be your major change, because you're like, you know what? I can fit in anywhere with anybody whenever I feel, but I also don't have to go on auto entertainment mode. Like, I don't have to lift everybody up, make them laugh, figure everybody else's stuff out, because you're going to be secure and grounded in who you are, and you're going to be able to realize who deserves this energy and focus as well, right? And that's going to save you so much time and effort. You're going to feel so good going, oh my God, how did I give these energy vampires even the time of day? Why was I explaining my life and my path and my purpose to anyone that was so damn undeserving and could care less anyway, right? They were only using it as a tool of manipulation or competition or whatever. You're seeing that in full technicolor, as well as the people that are really helping you endure and feel good. And you're going to be able to make really positive choices in that regard and carry on really successfully because of that group too. So yeah, your biggest change is you're going to be able to adapt like a chameleon, and it's going to really reap big benefits for you. So beautiful energy, group 2. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to press like and subscribe, and all my links are down below for everything private reads, whatever you may want, everything is down there. So now we're on to number 3, which is Tatsuya. So have courage. This is huge in regard of the workplace, standing up for your personal beliefs, creating boundaries, and definitely in new relationships. relationships, not letting people get the better of you. There's high manipulation facets that happen sometimes in new relationships. People don't even know what they're doing, but if you're around people that are ego driven, they want to bend you to their will and get you to do things that they want, that make their life easier, that make them look better and all of that. But you're going to be able to pinpoint that and have courage to say, no, listen, thank you. I really appreciate your input, but I'd much rather do it this way. And then you just carry on. You're able to speak your piece very eloquently and very elegantly and go along to get along brilliantly and not be mired down by anybody else's agenda. That's your biggest change. That's lovely. You have an agenda, and it's quite clear that you're trying to, force it upon others, but you're going to be the one that says, no, thank you, and really have clarity with that. We're going to see what other energies are coming in to help you in your focal point too. Beautiful. The nurturing of feelings caused by in reaction. Right. When you are in certain people's company, feelings arise, right? You either feel good, you feel secure, you feel like you want to chat, you feel nurtured. Who are these people, and stick close to them. The moon energy is really helpful with that. Intuitively, we know who and what is good for us. And intuitively, we know what saps us, energy vampires, right? And you're going to accept that, and you're going to defend yourself from that energy. That's going to be a huge change for you. Therefore, you're able to forge forward and do what you want to do the way you want to do it, with a lot of extra energy and lightness and kind of whimsy in your spirit, and not feeling that you are obligated to anyone. Now, that's this. Saturn is going to bring you the maturity that lets you see the long-term games, which gives you patience to implement steps professionally and personally that help you benefit in everywhere. And again, we have to impose limits on ourselves. I love Marissa Peers when she said, we're not made to do everything excellently. We usually have limits imposed so we can focus on that one or two things that we do brilliantly, right? Have you ever talked to somebody and they're like, people that are great in their field talk about how good they are in their field because how energized and focused they are on their field. They don't say, I'm also a master at archery. I'm also, I'm also whatever, an Olympic athlete. And they pile on all this stuff, and they try to make this real estate list of accolades for themselves. It makes no sense. Then it just becomes silly. We're usually good at one or two things, and when that becomes our focus, we become supremely good at, like reading and helping people solve problems is my gift, because I slow down and I can look at it from a healthy, detached viewpoint, and lots of hours delegated to reading on psychological aspects. It's one of my most fascinating fields of study, because the human mind can absolutely propel us into victory in any way, shape, or form that we want. And it can also just put us in a dead stop when we believe we can't do something. It's our belief system in ourself. And I remember that being young and being involved in sports and stuff. And the one thing that made me really want to study it was I remember starting horseback riding, and someone said, well, this is your first time show jumping. There's no way you're even going to place. Don't worry about it. That made me determined to really try all that much harder. And I placed with 2 blue ribbons. And because everyone was telling me I didn't understand that. I thought, this is something I love, and I've been around horses a long time. Why can't I? And that psychologically triggered something for me to wonder why people think they can't do something. It was one of those things. So you're going to recognize your gifts. You're not going to have any more limits imposed on you when it comes to those. And you're going to go out and you're going to soar. Resources are going to be available to you. Money, finances, big time, but also support in your personal dreams and life path purpose from those around you, because you are much more compelled to only allow people in that are going to help you grow, think, feel, and be your best high vibrational self, which is super important as well. So I love that energy for you, Group 3. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to press like and subscribe. And all my links are down below if you want to get your supercharged crystals from Stonehenge, any of my handcrafted jewelry. And if you ever have any questions about what properties are in what stones, that's something I've been involved in for a long, long time, and I really love it. So come on over to Instagram. I'm always telling people, DM me and ask me about them, because my personal energy is always invigorated, clarified, and benefited from natural stones. Usually I just love clear quartz crystal, but also things like amethyst for channeling, and definitely citrine for that beautiful abundance and bright sunshine positivity that comes in. I always have citrine right by my side as well. So love and light to you all, and I am going to upload.